So, you might have noticed that we have thus far in Season 3 of Amphibia received precious little information about Marcy or Sasha's families. This is kind of surprising to me, and it's not particularly a pleasant surprise. I figured that if we were going to be spending so much time on Earth, we would at least bother to learn something about Sasha's family or Marcy's family and how they've reacted to their daughters not reappearing after 5 months of being gone, and perhaps how they would react to knowing that Anne is back, but her friends are not. That seemed like a wellspring for a lot of drama, a lot of sorrow and tears, and a lot of resentment, maybe, or a lot of denial, and yet we've gotten nothing. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be somber, I'm not saying it needs to be dour, I'm not saying her friends' parents need to take over the show. I just want a bit of acknowledgement, a bit of reckoning with the fact that after 5 months, Marcy and Sasha are still not back. They're in Amphibia, and they have no clear or easy way to escape from the king's wrath, and indeed, Marcy is stuck in a tube of liquid. That's the only thing keeping her alive. Now, to be the most charitable to the show, perhaps this could still happen in the future. We are still only 4 episodes in at this point. And Brawley has implied that we are going to get to see Marcy and Sasha's parents and families react or not react to the disappearance of their daughters. And perhaps this could be done at least a little in the episode Fixing Frobo. A lot of people who are not me have theorized that the engineering girl with the pink hair we see in the trailer and in the intro is a relative of Marcy's, which is reasonable. She looks kind of like Marcy. She has the same sort of excitable, semi-eccentric vibe as Marcy. I have no idea if this is a relative of Marcy, but I hope so, because there has been a lack of fallout, a lack of consequences regarding not just True Colors, but the increasingly fraught relationships between the 3 girls in the back half of Season 2. And of course, the fact that Marcy brought them all here in the first place and caused them to be separated from their families for about half a year now. Now, I'm glad Anne's family is flourishing. I'm glad they're happy. I'm glad they, with the help of their community, have been able to be strong even before Anne reappears, and then, of course, become even more happy and more prosperous now that she's back. But I don't think that is going to be necessarily true for the other 2 families. At least I hope not. I want there to be some sort of consequences. I want there to be some indication that not everything is alright. That just because Anne is back in the human world, not everything has gone back to the normal way it was before the girls disappeared. There should be ripples sent by what Marcy did and what the box did in transporting them there in the interactions we see on Earth, and we've not really seen that yet. I'm not saying they should blame Marcy, I'm not saying that Marcy's a bad person, I'm not even saying Marcy really did all that much wrong. It's not like she was very certain that the box was going to take them all to Amphibia, even if she was happy it did. Marcy's parents inform Marcy's actions. Without her parents, pushing her to want to run away, you do not get the three of them being transported to Amphibia. You do not get what happens in True Colors. So her parents are kind of important, even more so than Sasha's. So are they actually as controlling as Marcy seems to believe they are, or are they just regular, innocent people who just did the reasonable thing in pursuing better professional opportunities and did not expect it to completely destroy their daughter? I'm leaning more toward Marcy's parents actually being controlling, and we can see that through her sister, if that is her sister, or if it is a relation of her at all. Perhaps her sister did not want to be under that controlling environment, so she left when she turned 18 and didn't look back. It's possible Marcy did not have the closest relationship with her sister when her sister got older and drifted away from the family and then left. I'm sure her sister misses Marcy and is heartbroken that Marcy still has not returned yet. But I also wonder if the sister, if that is her sister, has really talked with Marcy a lot in the last couple of years. There's a lot there to explore in that relationship, and I really hope the show takes advantage of that, because I do not want the show to just devolve into being about, oh, hey, we have this side character, and Anne's not sure whether to trust them, but they end up being pretty trustworthy, and Anne ends up prospering. From what we see in the intro, even the FBI guys and Mr. X, Mr. RuPaul, will end up being an ally to Anne by the end of this half season. And I want there to be some complications to that. I don't want that to be that easy, that simple, that straightforward. I want there to be a hitch, to be some sort of consequence, something that does not just serve to make Anne feel all good and warm and protected. It's not like we need more side characters anyway. We already have a lot of them there in Wardwood, and if we are going to have more side characters, they should be related to the organic form of the show as it has already established itself. It shouldn't feel like just these artificial characters just being introduced to serve a plot function in the program. Imagine if in Jane Eyre, instead of meeting her family members after wandering on the moor, she just meets some random people who are nice to her. That would not have nearly the same impact, especially considering the importance Jane places on her family and how her lack of family caused her so much strife at the beginning of the book. These relations matter. They are what make the show. So I want these side characters, if we are going to keep introducing side characters, to have some sort of real and organic connection to characters we already have met and we already care about in the show itself. Now, I don't need a lot of time with characters dwelling on Marcy's disappearance. I've accepted that the show is not going to go as dark as I might want. It's not that kind of show, and that's fine. I don't need it to conform to my expectations about what should happen after Anne comes back alone half a year after disappearing to another world. But I do want the show to be aligned with its own expectations, with the structures it set up for itself, instead of just ignoring all the build-up the show was doing in Season 2B and just going into a more lighthearted, low-stakes series of episodes only linked together by the relatively non-compelling desire just for Anne to get the Planters home. I'm not asking a lot from the show, I'm really not. I just want some sort of implication that Marcy has been missed, that her presence is felt. Or perhaps the opposite. Perhaps she hasn't been missed, or perhaps they are not accepting that she's gone. Her sister and her parents refuse to believe she's disappeared. They're just in denial. I just need a little piece of that in the midst of all this adventuring and fun journeys, and the Boonchois forming closer ties with the Planters, and these very strong communal ties being presented. I just want some indication of what's not right, what's kind of gone wrong. Just give me one short conversation with this pink-haired woman, or with anyone, that Marcy has been missing, and that she is missed, that something is not right, that there is a hole where Marcy's presence was once felt. We don't really need any more fun characters. We don't really need any more lighthearted adventures. We don't really need any more little journeys in which Anne meets a new character and they help her on her quest to bring the Planters back to Amphibia. Especially if Anne is not going to reckon with what Amphibia is actually like at the present moment, and how messed up that world has become. Now, if you want to keep having those low stakes, relatively pleasant but not emotionally affecting adventures, fine by me. That is the show's choice, and I don't want to contradict that, but I do need the show, if it is going to satisfy me, to at least acknowledge what has gone on in True Colors and its aftermath. And I think having this woman be related to Marcy would be a nice, subtle, clever way to do that. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching Amphibia. I really do want to see where it goes. I still have faith in the show. But True Colors changed what we thought about Marcy. It changed our perspective on her as a character, and I want to see that be acknowledged. I want to see the ripples and implications of that felt, at least to a certain subtle degree. So anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. I promise you that. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.